Here I am, the son of art, flat on a slab. The word in my left hand. The right hand should be pointing to eternal life, but it's been locked off. So here I am, flat on a slab. Genitals locked off. Everything locked off. I won't betray this drug. I'm not a traitor to this beautiful drug. Because where this drug has taken me is to a place of euphoria, far beyond the best, the rudest, the greatest of health. This, you must understand. It has given me perfect hours. Because if its malignant, sickening effects could only be eliminated, I still believe that my beautiful opium would bring a clearer perspective upon this geriatric, badly made up whore of a world than the endless treadmill of social babble brings harm to it. Look around you. We are haggard with compromise. And shriveled with convention. Nothing more than a tearing, ripping wound happening in slow motion. But you can judge for yourself in the trial of opium. You can judge everything. And me, too. You will almost certainly accuse me of a lack of manners. Ha! I should like nothing more than to lack manners. And I'll tell you why. Because it's difficult to achieve, and because it's the sign of a true hero. So I'll give you a lack of manners, and it will consist of grubby hotel bills, money passed under the table, and badly soiled linen. Wild morality does not help me. But while I see that there is nothing wrong in what one does, I see that there is something wrong in what one becomes. The only crime is to be superficial. I was cured once before, I think. Or so they say. But it clearly didn't work. Those wretched, careless doctors never addressed the problems which caused the addiction in the first place. And a mind seeking sweet equilibrium will find it anywhere it can. I was only ever a moderate smoker. Never exceeded 10 pipes a day. 3 at 9 in the morning. 4 at 5 in the afternoon. 3 at 11 in the evening. Because, you see, if life is a termite colony, how does one escape it? Where do all our stale prerogatives cease to matter? That delicious, forbidden zone. Where does it begin? No, I won't betray the drug, even though I haven't slept for 12 days and 12 endless nights. Eyes on stalks, lips on stalks, ears on stalks. Let's make life a life with less pain. Let's anesthetize all feelings. Let's not scream quite so loudly. Sentimentality is the enemy of real emotion. And the second hand, the enemy of real expression. No! I won't betray the drug. Not even now, after 8 days of this cure, which is leading me so unmannerly against my will towards the torments of the cure and a return to so-called life. Just wait. It's all coming your way. All the industrial paraphernalia of the world exploding in your head. Armies in full retreat. An entire Armageddon in the galaxy of your body. No matter. I am striding on a blast of wind, and the fear is giving wings to courage. Never judge by your own rhythm of existence. Never. You think that plants grow serenely because you perceive that they grow slowly? No! 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 Watch any speeded up film of plants and vegetables growing, and then you'll see the full horror. Then you'll hear the plants screaming for their lives. That's what this cure is like. I'm like a vegetable starting to emerge in April. I'm a tree experiencing the sap rising. I'm a butterfly headbutting its way out of the chrysalis. But don't imagine that these are joyous events. They hurt like hell. That vegetable howls. The tree shrieks. That pretty butterfly screams! God, how to get these poisons out of the blood. Oh, they've sunk their teeth into every cell and tissue. So come on then, dear doctors. Purge away, dear anatomists. Prick and prod me as you please. Bring on the cavalcade of surgeons. Grandes doctores doctrinae, of rhubarbe and senna, scavantissimi doctores, medicini professores, in homine that you see here, whom in finis omnibus, ed a bottom examinandum vestris capacitatibus. Clisterium donare, poste oblidare, afterwards purgare. Manget and bleedat. Bleedat and killat. Fiebras pluresias. Bloody fluxies and dysenterias. Clisterium donare, postea glidare, afterwards purgare. Medicandi! Purgandi! Bleedandi, plicandi, cutandi. Slashandi. Afterwards purgare. No, I won't betray the drug. Not even now. and the reawakening of the senses is only a bog of sneezes, yawns, and tears. The pigeons. The pigeons. The bloody pigeons. On the windowsills and the roofs are making me mad. It's between 6 and 7 in the morning, and the pigeons are making me mad! I'm trying to explain, you see. To clarify, somehow. Not like those patients who, when the doctor asks them, "Now then, where does it hurt?" can only look vacant and bovine and reply, "I don't know, doctor." Oh, the subtle beauty of an opium pipe. The amateurs, of course, feel nothing because they don't understand that opium is only effective if you make a sweet and loyal pact with it. And the pact is that if you succumb to its spell, then you'll never be able to give it up. So don't moralize with the opium addict. It's futile. It's like saying to Tristan, "Kill Isolde. You'll feel much better afterwards." No! I won't betray the drug. Because we all need a fixative. Think. If we were all conscious of how fast we were falling, conscious of the horror of the daily rigmarole and routine of getting up, putting the underwear on, eating the little breakfast, working the normal working day, conscious of the sickening speed of the nonsensical fall from one abyss to the next, none of us would survive. Opium gave me this fixative. Without it, everything, the daily rigmarole, the old routine, becomes as absurd as a man falling from the top of the building and believing that he will make friends with the people at the very windows that he's plummeting past. Speed, speed, speed. The daily rigmarole occurs as though on an express train rushing towards death. Smoke opium, and you can get out of the train while it's still moving. Smoke opium, and you concern yourself with something other than life or death. Oh, the consoling wonders of opium. Without it, nothing is transfigured. A sinister, shabby room is merely a sinister, shabby room. Smoke it, and all ideas are changed and diffused utterly. As though they were Chinese ink coiling away in water, snaking into eternity. Don't talk to me of the slavery of opium, because it's a liberation, and the kind of regularity that it imposes on a day is a form of benevolent discipline. The ritual of calmness, the quiet of the preparation. Take the raw opium, fashion it into a rounded pill, soak in water, add a litre of old red wine. Avoid bringing to the boil. Strain 7 times for 8 days.
And now, the craving.
The restlessness. I need to be in the car. Yes. The movement of a car would help. A car can caress each internal organ and tissue more than any amount of sensual massage. Here we have it. The drama of opium, which is nothing more than the drama of comfort and the lack of comfort. Everything's a revolution, you see. The whole bloody lot. The opium, the addiction, the cure. Purity of a revolution only ever lasts a fortnight. If that, then before you know it, it's all turned ugly. Lenin has blighted the earth with butchery. Saint-Just is slicing necks. Opium has turned on you and clawed your innards inside out. Disassociation. One thought goes one way. One runs another. One idea splits the head, the body down the middle. The knife cuts in two. Poems like fussy jewels. A perfume that makes one gag, not grateful. Oh, God. We need to do some physical work again. We need to move boulders and plough fields. Otherwise, like Mallarmé, we become the inverted musician who cannot compose. Can't write a note on the stave. Eyes firmly shut. No legs, no arms. Things lopped off again. The only worthwhile creations are those created while we're silent and asleep. Awake from that sleep, and one betrays oneself constantly on the hamster wheel of the social round, licking the glitter from the floor of the cage. No, I won't betray the drug. One day we'll tame it and handle it, you see. Make it benign. Smoke 12 pipes a day for life and guard against influenza, mild backache, sore throats and flatulence. Mm-hmm. Less dangerous than brandy, gin and the odd cigar. Whole cities will flourish. The world will be well. And sitting around in circles, making small talk and sipping cups of tea with dull people will never be horrific again. Horrific. A horrific photograph in a lurid magazine. The beheading of a Chinese rebel. The blurred swish of the sword, the background misty. But the spray of blood from the neck is in perfect focus. And the head. The mouth still twitching in the grimace of a smile has simply fallen into the executed rebel's lap. Like a discarded cigarette. Because Christ! The sheer vacuum of being cured. So, just let me recline here, like a martyred corpse, with my lopped off hand. How completely abnormal for an artist to behave as though he were normal. Well, I don't pretend to be normal. Therefore, I'm extraordinary. I've been puking up yellow bile for 2 months now. Bright yellow bile. God, Opium's an exacting mistress. And now she's forsaken me. Capricious, unexaminable, shifting, fragrant mistress. You've left me now. And even when you were with me, you were always a fickle whore. Too damp when it was humid. Refusing to give relief in the harbour at Marseille. Not rolling into a pill when it was too cold. Always too much trouble. God! It feels like the moon is coming closer and closer. describe this craving is to describe the impossible. A seasickness that heaves the entire world like the seasickness of love. Flashes before the eyes, cramps in the mouth, relentless sweat, and a mouth dry as a wilderness, and tears. Stop! No need to continue. Courage is useless here. Smoke. Just one pipe. That will suffice. No pipe means coldness, hunger, impatience. Just one pipe means bliss in the negative. No coldness, no hunger, no impatience. Simple equation. 1928. I am Saint Sebastian, pierced by knives and my soul on fire. Why is everyone looking in at me as though I am a specimen dissected for their entertainment? I'm alone, but everyone is watching me. I need my nurse. I'm an old doddering fool and I need my nurse, not the chief medical officer. If you're not well, he only stays with you for a second and then runs away scared as hell. He's inhuman. You don't want him to chat to you. That's a sign that he doesn't know what to do with you at all. But the nurse is human. She was amazed to see me writing so soon into the cure. She mentioned it to me. She actually spoke to me. She said, "You frighten me. You've the face of a murderer." That was a balm. She's a human in the universe of Martinet. Which is a kind of light in the darkness, shining like a candle in a naughty world. But no darkness, no light. Meine Nacht ist Licht. Night of December the 31st, 1928. There was a magic carpet, of course, and I flew it from one hotel room to the next. And the world without it is as repugnant as a politician kissing babies to gain votes. Seaports. Smell of oil, commerce, sweat, and sailors. The circus smells of animals, sawdust and shit. Opium smells of both the sea and the circus, you see. But no darkness, no light. If there were no devil, God would be utterly inhuman. Chopped up, lopped off limbs in the trenches, sweat and soldiers. One night in the war I realised I was enjoying myself. Danger was a delight and camaraderie, a kind of thrill. So I left because I was disgusted. 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 And now the only way that I can howl is through the mouth of my wound. Pause. Once I was a child and could turn myself into whatever I imagined. I transformed myself into one masterpiece after another. Then I grew up and lost this magic power. No wonder I smoked opium. So pray for me now, dear sweet, sacred, gaudy heart. Pray for this null and void outcast who is everything and nothing. Proffer me a moment of calm. Dogs! Let me tell you about dogs. Eric Satie, once suggested a theatre designed entirely for dogs. Imagine, you sit down, the curtain rises, and the set consists of a solitary bone. In England, they made a film for dogs to watch. Imagine, as soon as the film started, all the dogs invited to watch it threw themselves at the screen and ripped it to shreds. Let me tell you about a birth on board a steamer in Marseille. 11 o'clock at night. The deserted docks and the ladder leaning up the side of the ship to the perfectly shadowy decks, avoiding the cables and labyrinthine loops of moonlight as we made our way to the berth. Then the beautiful smell of the drug. An enormous berth with 60 boys lying and smoking on 2 tiers of wooden planks. The only light in the dim glow of the lamps, and on top of them, the drug burning away. Managing to find a place, we squeezed in between the mass of bodies, our legs doubled up and our heads resting on wooden stools. And the boy, hunched next to me, had plunged into a nightmare where he sweated and clutched at the silk rags around him while his bloated face opened and closed like a furious fist, and all the others were calm. So calm. Their limbs like the branches of Provençal olive trees. And the only thing, it seemed, that kept the whole ship afloat was a sensation of unutterable lightness. No boat sustained by lightness now. Merely a binding of sight and sensation. No somnolent sailors now.
Sailors! Sex!
Make love with anyone. Anything! In sailors, they call it vice, which of course always begins with choice. Here I am, the son of art, writing and drawing to sublimate the urge. Here I am, the son of frustration, dreaming of my choice, which begins my vice. Dreaming of sailors and sweat. Those Japanese origami flowers that slowly unfold in water. Opium is the water, you see. And we are all such different flowers. So that if you have never smoked, you will never know the kind of flower that might have unfolded within you. How beautiful, how tender, how light the pleasure. Until the water floods the nerves of your very being. And the flower is swept away. Yes, my beautiful drug. After smoking you, my body thought and dreamt and softened and flew. Yes, how I fly. I have a bird's eye view of myself. And down, down, down I fall. Back to the rushing planet, back to the bondage of Earth. And then, oh then, how difficult to live without the drug that makes one fly. Since, after having known it, taking Earth seriously is almost impossible. And how can one live without taking Earth seriously? Unless one is a saint. And I am not. No, not a saint. The worst moment of all. The worst moment of all. The worst, the worst, the worst. After the cure. Is this health? Health. But health with a void. And a most immense sadness. The doctors have liberally handed me over to suicide. Now, the return of memory. I remember Marcel Proust, seated on red cushions like a fragile little icon, a famous man with a well-trimmed beard. Yes, I remember Marcel Proust, with and without a beard, in that famous room of his, soundproofed with cork and lined with medicine bottles. I remember him in bed with his gloves on. I remember him in a room covered with dust sheets everywhere, over the chairs, over the chandeliers. Yes! I remember Marcel Proust. He was a lamp, lit, on a sunny afternoon. He was a phone ringing, in an empty house. Come with me to Proust's apartment. I'll lead you there. Imagine. You are in the Comédie Française. There is a small corridor that leads from the stage to the green room. Push on the last door on the right, and you will find yourself in Rachel's old dressing room. It is hot, like a furnace, and you find yourself surrounded by a jumble of antique paraphernalia, dust sheets, a harmonium, a harp, tarnished bronze sculptures, a worm-eaten painter's easel, clocks that have given up on time. There! You are in Proust's apartment. Perhaps a mild disappointment. Like the first experience of La Berma that he evokes. It was no doubt the dejection into which I was plunged by the approach of the New Year's holidays, during which, as she herself had informed me, I was to see nothing of Gielgud, that prompted my mother to suggest one day, if you're still longing to see Berma, I think your father might perhaps allow you to go. Your grandmother can take you. Just as I wish to see storms only on those coasts where they raged with most violence. So I should not have cared to see the great actress, except in one of those classic parts in which Swann had told me that she touched the sublime. Berma in Andromaque, or in Phèdre, was one of those famous spectacles which my imagination had long desired. My desire to go and see Berma received fresh stimulus, having seen, still moist and wrinkled, the complete playbill of Phèdre that had just been pasted up for the first time. I jumped for joy at the thought that on that day I should be sitting there in my seat, ready to hear the voice of Berma. Alas, that first matinee was to prove a bitter disappointment. I could not even distinguish in her diction and her playing intelligent modulations or beautiful gestures. In one scene, where Berma stands motionless for a moment, her arm raised to the level of her face, bathed in the greenish glow of the footlights, the whole house broke out in applause. But already the actress had moved, and the tableau that I should have liked to study existed no longer. My grandmother handed me her glasses, but when one believes in the reality of things, making them visible by artificial means is not quite the same as feeling that they are close at hand. What I retained of Berma was a meagre image, devoid of those deep layers of the present in which one can delve and genuinely discover something new. The only eternal thing is the good taste of failure. The souls who do not understand failure are irredeemably lost. There is a mystery, an aesthetic, an ethic of failure. Beautiful opium. The noble failure that makes the mind light. Without the tedious social prerequisite of wit. No laughter now. Christ, it's hot. Childhood. Exploring, after the death of my grandfather, through the Aladdin's cave of his room, and finding a full box of cigarettes and a cherrywood cigarette holder, and then venturing out into a spring meadow, caressed and concealed by the tall grass, opening the box and smoking one of the cigarettes, and the sensation of luxurious liberty was so powerful that I know that I shall almost certainly never ever find it again. Childhood! Other childhood. 1915. A wounded German soldier, his leg amputated. Above him, an 11-year-old French boy, his tongue sticking out of the corner of his mouth in concentration, cutting the buttons off the German's uniform. And the helpless soldier can only watch him through half-closed eyes, but can do nothing. Other childhoods. My first love. She was 2 years younger, but I'll wait to marry her, I thought. What is she doing? Rubbing her toothless gums with a hard toothbrush, coughing, looking vacant, spitting into a handkerchief which then turns red from her efforts, just like the wounds of Christ. Blood, 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 blood of the poet, blood of the poet, blood of the poet. How opium kicks us out of community, and then lets community take its revenge on us. Laugh if you want to. Laughter is, after all, a kind of act of social communion. How well the great clowns understand this. Keaton, Chaplin, perhaps they will take me by the hand and lead me back to creativity. Immortality, Buñuel, Eisenstein. The eye is always being cut with that razor, and the pram is forever charging down the Odessa steps. No laughter now. Christ, it's hot. They're wrapping me up and making me sweat, sweat, sweat. Ha! Opium doesn't like that. It doesn't like all of its grubby little secrets to be sweated out. Christ, sweat. What a repetitive theme that has been of this shrieking song. Last night, I dreamt in colour again. I think I dreamt of an old dream, but I only remembered when I was dreaming of it in the new dream. All the figures in the dream had contours once more, which is surely a good sign. Dream, dream, recurring dream. My father is alive again, though in reality he was dead. He is now a parrot, chattering. My mother and I go and sit and watch the parrots in the zoo. And I know that she knows, and that she does not know that I know. And I can see her scanning the birds, searching amongst the parrots for the one which my father has become. And when I wake up, I always cry because of the look on my mother's face as she tries to smile. Oh, the ineffable importance of poetry. If I knew that unless I changed a word or a line of a poem, or unless I added or subtracted from a poem, then I would be condemned to die, I would not capitulate. I would refuse to change a thing and be condemned and die. Perhaps it is good that opium is anti-social. Thank God that it removes us from the swamp of that social slime. The endless babblings. The stupid hamster wheel. Throw out the top hat and the visiting cards. At all costs, avoid the British Embassy and introductions to the Prince of Wales. Sit! Recline. Write poetry instead. Fame should only be used for one sole purpose. To permit the work itself to live after the inevitable end of the person who created it. Now childhood again! I wonder why. I remember the aroma of a leather satchel, the marbled cover of a notebook, the smell of my grandfather's beard, and the feel of the fabric of my mother's dress. But no need for this. Why do others attempt to write the lives of the poets when the poets themselves are no good at it? Too many misremembered moments, of course. Too many failed affairs and wounded lovers. Too many unilluminated corners. Dates get confused. Years merge. Snow melts. And footprints always fade. After weaning, after this purging of the mind, I can stand, it seems. The legs are stronger. I'm looking better. But the hands, still drained, still ill. And for a whole week, I've been unable to write about opium. My beautiful drug. Perhaps I don't need to anymore. I'd better invent something else quickly. And oh, the bliss. A first ride in a car to the Comédie Française to read my new play. The outside world. A breaking of the solitude. Contact with others for a brief while outside of this cell. In a room decorated with portraits of Molière and Rachel and Bernhardt. Outside of this cell, in a theatre with gilt edges, velvet curtains, and the comfort of the footlights. And now I'm cured. I'm cured. I'm cured. Oh, now I am empty, impoverished, sick, utterly heartbroken, unanchored. The day after tomorrow I'm going to leave. But go where? 3 weeks ago I was excited, asking around for recommendations for pretty little hotels in the snow. I was going to leave. I was going to make a grand exit. But now it may not be me that comes out, but a book, a drawing, something that lives while I again die. I will play the game again, as I always must. Then wait until I resurrect again and again. How tiresome always to be the phoenix. No, not a book. My next work will be a film.